Good morning. Hi guys. Happy Halloweeny. I am not at school today. So Miss Lemka, our famous haunted sub, will be here today for you. And so I'm going to lead you through what we're doing in week 11 for today. You are going to go into week 11 and there's only one link in there. You're going to click on that. It will take you to the Pear Deck for today. I'm going to stop though right now because if you don't have your composition notebook and a pencil, you definitely want to grab those. So pause the video and grab both those things. Okay, hopefully you are back in your desk, you're ready to go. And what you're going to do is time yourself using, you could either go on YouTube and look up 10-minute timer, or you may have permission to use your phone and put on a timer. And the journal prompt today is a scary creative journal prompt. So you could pick one of these two. You could say, start with the sentence starter. I could no longer ignore the strange sound coming from under the bed. So and begin your own scary story from that. Or you can start with, I didn't think the house was actually haunted until. So pick one of these sentence starters. Go ahead, set up a timer right now. So maybe you want to put in headphones or get out your phone and set a timer on. And go ahead and open up to your next page of your composition notebook. Label it 103122 and begin. Be creative. Use some weighted words. Okay, the next part. So I'm assuming you've paused because you have done your writing task. So we're moving on. It's been 10 minutes. And the next thing that we're going to talk about are clauses. No, I'm not talking about Santa Claus. I'm talking about clauses in grammar. So, independent clause is a group of words that can stand alone and they make sense. They could be their own sentence. A dependent clause starts with a subordinating conjunction. We'll talk about what that means, and it can't stand alone. So, let me show you an example. A subordinating conjunction are words like after, although, as, when, whenever, where, wherever, while, unless, until, because, before, if, in, order that, since, so that. I don't expect you to memorize those. But if one of these words begins a sentence, it's the sentence starter, you have to add a comma because it tells you that the sentence is not done. It's kind of like a transition. So if the weather is nice tomorrow, I couldn't just put a period here and be done with the sentence. I have to finish. Well, what's going to happen if the weather is nice tomorrow? We will go to the lake. Or Tony was happy when what? I can't just put a period here, right? That wouldn't make sense. When he got a role in the class play. Period. Or cover the pan so that. I couldn't put a period after the word that because I have to find out why we have to cover the pan so that the moisture does not escape, period. So what you are going to do is highlight what you think the subordinating conjunction word is. So Kim becomes frustrated when she can't play. What word would keep this from being a independent clause or a complete sentence? Well, Kim becomes frustrated. Technically, I could put a period there, and that could be the end of the sentence, right? But the word when, you know what? I'm going to have to make this smaller. How do I make it smaller? Maybe no. Oh, you guys, come on now. There we go. And then I'll make it yellow. So Kim becomes frustrated when she can't play. The word when keeps this so the sentence is not finished yet. Kim becomes frustrated when what? She can't play. Okay, so go ahead and do number 2 and 3. And I will pause. Pause your video by pressing the space bar right now. Okay, moving on to the next one. Underline the dependent clause. So that means the last thing we did was we highlighted it said highlight, I circled, but whatever. We highlighted the subordinating conjunction word. This time we're going to underline the dependent clause. So the part of the sentence that cannot stand alone. So let's just read the first one together. Armin helps at the store unless he has class. Okay, so Armin helps at the store. Technically, I could put a period there, and that could be the end of the sentence. This part would be independent. It can stand alone. However, this part, unless he has class, that can't make its own sentence, right? Unless he has class, period. So we're kind of separating the sentence here. And this part is the dependent part. It can't stand alone. This part is independent clause because it could stand alone as its own sentence. Go ahead and try 2, 3, and 4 by yourself. Okay, so pause this video and go to your tab of the Pear Deck. Okay, lastly, write the two sentences as one sentence by adding a subordinating conjunction. So let's go back. What are subordinating conjunctions? Any of these words. So if you need to, go back to slide 4 and look at what those words are. Okay, so I ran 4 miles, period. I was tired after only 1. These are 2 independent clauses because they both can make up their own sentence by themselves. But if I used the subordinating conjunction, even though, I can make my own sentence and make this as one large sentence. I ran 4 miles even though I was tired after only 1. So by adding the subordinating conjunction, this part is now independent, and this part is still independent, but I'm adding the subordinating conjunction to make it one large sentence. So let's try it on your own. Sheila let Kyle borrow her bike. His was being repaired. So you're going to rewrite these 2 sentences as one sentence by removing the period and replacing it with a subordinating conjunction. Go ahead and pause this video and do it on your own. All right, I think we have one more. Tyler cleans Mrs. Bosford's gutters, period. Kayla mows her lawn. Okay, so make these 2 sentences one sentence by putting the subordinating conjunction while into the sentence. Pause again and go back to your Pear Deck and do this. Lastly, you guys, you have your composition notebook still open. Go in to see if you wrote any dependent or independent clauses. If you find any, underline them. If you didn't use any dependent clauses, add one. So if we go back to our writing, you're looking for dependent clauses unless he has class, right? Parts of your sentence that couldn't stand on their own, but they're separated by an independent clause that can stand on their own. Armin helps at the store unless he has class. Okay, so you're kind of looking for any spot in your writing of your scary story where you put subordinating conjunction. So I'm going to leave this list up right here. And why don't you guys just go in and circle your subordinating conjunctions and underline where dependent clauses are. So I'll leave the screen here, pause the video, and go ahead and circle any of these words that you see in your story. If you don't see any of these words, add at least one. When you finish this lesson, you can go ahead and I don't have your grades updated for your paper yet, but then you can independently read for the rest of the class period. Have a great day, guys.